Hey, everybody. You are about to hear a brief retelling of the cartoon Irons Gone Wrong. Enjoy the movie. The year is 2042. The company Bubble used to produce phones, tablets, and watches, but today the inventor head of the company, Mac, is ready to introduce something new. From a crowd of children, a lucky girl has been chosen to receive the world's first Beebot, a robot friend. He knows literally everything about his owner. Therefore, it always adjusts to his interests and hobbies. The girl likes bunnies, then Beebot will become a bunny. The device performs the functions of transportation, speaker, and powerful projector. In addition, the robot can easily find new friends for the child. In general, the thing is just necessary. It's been a while and Beebots have taken over the city. It seems that every child at school has one, but not Barney Pudowski, which means that he can't make any friends. The boy goes on his own, even on his birthday. The teacher wanted to solve his problem and asked the rest of the children to come and congratulate the birthday boy. The truth in doing so attracted the attention of the hooligan pranksters. Barney lives with a loser father and a strange grandmother. The boy hoped that at least today he would be given a Beebot, but he received a knitted cap and a set of rock hammers. Grandma had prepared a cucumber dinner, but unfortunately no one would come to Barney's house today. The kid hints to his father that he needs a Beebot, but the man doesn't want his son to be stuck in a gadget all the time. Suddenly, the doorbell rings and informs him that a package has arrived from Bubble. However, in the gift paper was wrapped stone. It is rich, so joked at Barney, and the upset guy went to his room. His father decided to rectify the situation, but arrived at the Bubble store when it had already closed. You can still buy the device only by pre-order, and you have to wait for 3 months. However, the father found a way out and bought from the driver a damaged robot that fell out of the truck today. The boy was very happy, but not for long. First, the robot wouldn't turn on, then it wouldn't open, but worst of all, it couldn't gather information about Barney to make friends with him. The robot did turn on, but it's constantly glitching and only 4% loaded, so it can't do much. All Beebots follow safety rules, but this one threw itself right under the wheels of a truck. The robot is immediately knocked out because the solar panel drivers were not loaded. The boy is upset because his plastic friend should know everything about him, but he can't even remember his name. Barney dreams that tomorrow he will bring the robot to school and finally make friends. Beebot was supposed to gather all the information about the owner, but instead he trashed his room. He also found out that Barney's underpants were on fire and his inhalers were melting, and he magnetized an axe that the robot almost hacked his grandmother with. And also Beebot tried to tear off a chicken's head. Grandma wanted to fix it, but Barney decided to just replace the defective Beebot with a serviceable one. Except that the naughty robot drove into the playground where Rich and his friends were hanging out. The bully grabbed the robot and punched him. He wondered why the boy did it. Rich started kicking and throwing Beebot, but he is ready to stand up for himself. He began to chase the bullies, threatening to destroy them. Beebot grabbed Rich and decided to check at what moment his head would come off. The kid was rescued by Barney, and it turns out that this thing isn't so bad. Although all Beebots must have rigid security settings. Rich's robot managed to report the attack to the police, but Barney's friend is ready to beat up the cops. The cop drags him to the Bubble store. Only now Barney learns that the Beebot was purchased illegally and can't be exchanged. The defective device was taken away to be destroyed in a crusher. Barney decided to save Beebot, but the robot grabbed him too so they could play with the crusher together. The kid had a last-minute explanation. Now it's time to escape from the store, but it's not so easy with Beebot. The wrong robot is causing panic and scaring the kids. The fugitives hid among the Beebots for the preschoolers. Everyone was ordered to come out with their paws up. Barney handed over the deactivated Beebot and it was immediately annihilated. But it was a different robot his friend the boy had hidden in his backpack. Looking at his barcode, Beebot offered to call him Ron. The Bubble Company celebrates the sale of 100 million electronic friends, but the celebration is spoiled by the information about the robot that hit the child and the policeman. It's a good thing he's already been disposed of. Barney secretly decided to train Ron to be his friend in the barn. Except Ron doesn't understand the words friendship and love. Barney talks about what he likes and dislikes, and the training is difficult. In addition, Ron is too chaotic and constantly puts his life and the boy's life in danger. Barney tells his friend that his mom died when he was 2 years old and was sent to a factory, the robot said. They were having a great time until the kid accidentally pushed Beebot down the hill and he rolled towards Savannah's house, the most popular girl in school. The robot flew into the pool and scared the schoolgirls, and they were equally scared of Barney Budowski. Savannah noted that Barney's Beebot was very strange and naked for some reason. He's also incapable of making friends. That's how Ron found out that he was made to make friends, and if he can't make friends, he's just a useless piece of plastic. According to Savannah, if Barney doesn't make friends, he won't survive in school. At home, Ron decided that something had to be done about it. That night, Bubbles' principal sees a new recording of Ron and realizes that the defective robot is still a threat to their reputation, but it's impossible to locate him because he's not connected to the network. Then they have to get to Beebot through the boy, but there's no information on him either. No social media friends, no blog, no videos. Mark is the only one who is happy with the situation, because it is this broken Beebot that gives real joy to its owner. Now that's a true friend. The boy left Ron alone, but there are no friends to be found in the barn for Barney, and the robot goes in search of them. Ron catcalls passers-by and animals, shows a photo of Barney on a potty, and lures Barney into his barn. Ron doesn't have access to the net, so he makes friend requests with stickers and posters. Afterward, he arrives at the school and stands with the rest of the Beebots. Ron held a rave in the schoolyard and found Barney his first 5 friends, an alcoholic Shane, a homeless funny man, a parrot, and a grandmother who thinks she's been kidnapped. And the 5th friend is a baby that the robot stole right out of the stroller. Barney was called into the principal's office because of the mess he made, and Rich took advantage of it and asked how the robot was able to mess him up. The bullies ordered their Beebots to copy Ron's settings so they too could do whatever they wanted. Savannah promised Barney that she wouldn't tell anyone about his robot, but immediately ran the video on her social media accounts. More and more Beebots are getting misconfigured. All they need to do is bump into each other. The bots download as much bubble currency as they want, have destruction fights exceeding speed, and show 18+ movies. A multitude of bots joined together to form a huge monster and began to wreck the school. Mega Beebot grabbed Savannah and swallowed her. By this point, a patch had been prepared that knocked out all the problematic Beebots. Barney was suspended from school. He blames Ron for all his troubles. The robot took offense to the human and went the other way. To the Budowski's house, Bubble employees drove up, and the boy had to hide in the barn. There he found a packed Ron, who decided to send himself to the factory. The boy apologized for his behavior. Yes, Ron is certainly strange, but the same can be said about Barn. Now he has to save his friend. They're being chased by Bubble employees. They had to run for yards and accidentally ended up near Savannah again. Savannah didn't give away her classmate, and she doesn't want to be a social media star anymore. Even the cops are calling her a fart girl. The boy decides to hide in the woods and is very timely because Andrew orders to use all the Beebots as surveillance cameras. Barney has a lot of fun in the woods. Except Ron almost nailed him with a log. And he almost drowned in the swamp. Putting his friend in danger became even easier for Ron. In the evening, it was time for a snack. Barney remembers how he celebrated his 6th birthday with Savannah and Rich, and then he grew up and realized he wasn't cool at all. In the evening, the Budowskis stopped by Savannah's house to ask if she knows where Barney is now, and this time the girl didn't give him away. At recess, the Beebots now asked the kids to solve an equation. And Rich's friends blocked him out. Savannah came up to him and offered to find Barney because he was in trouble because of them. Barney is really not sweet now, after the rain in the forest of cheese and impossible to start a fire, and Ron has only 12% of charge left. As an exception, we had to break the rules and burn Barney's underwear again. In the middle of the night, Beebot passed out. Bubble Company learns that Barney and their robot are hiding in the woods, and Mark rushes to their rescue. A lot of Beebots stay in the forest, but the boy was afraid because they will save him and Ron will be sent to the crusher. Only Andrew saw where the boy was, but didn't tell anyone about it and sent the staff home. All the Beebooties also returned to their owners. Barney has run out of medicine in his inhaler, and Ron is on his last 5% trying to get the boy to town. He will save his friend even at the cost of his own life. The kids see Ron's glowing face from afar and run up to the choking Barney. The Beebots called an ambulance and the boy was treated immediately. Andrew was going to destroy Ron, but now everyone on the internet considers him not a rebel, but a savior, and this businessman is completely satisfied. When Barney woke up, he immediately demanded to bring Ron to him. Turns out Mark fixed it, which is why Beebot now loves everything Barney loves. So he's lost his identity completely. The boy asked the inventor to put it back the way it was. Good thing Mark had saved the old settings in the cloud, but then it turned out he was locked out. The man was fired as president of the company. Regardless, Barney is determined to get his friend back. So they break into the data vault at Babbel's headquarters. The entire staff of the company is just about to welcome the new director, which is Andrew. The administrator and security guard are distracted by the strange Budowski family, the dad using his problematic laptop to knock out the electricity in the whole building. That's how the conspirators were able to get close to the electrical room. Granny opened the door and her goat chewed up the cables. Mark tells Barney how to get to the cloud. To do this, he has to overcome his fear of heights and descend into a deep shaft. The kid couldn't resist and flew towards the huge blades. At the last moment, he managed to grab the cable and Mark cut the power. Barney finally found himself in a giant server room and started calling for his friend Ron. Meanwhile, Andrew told the boy's father about the true purpose of the Beebots. They just collect all the information about the owners and offer them different products all the time. In the middle of the room, Barney found a huge control panel for the vault. He used search to find Ron, but Andrew knocked out the power here. The boy sat down on the floor and asked for his friend to find him. Suddenly, one of the hard drives lit up. Barney immediately knew it was Ron. Barney was able to retrieve his friend and only now realized that this Beebot had an algorithm of its own, not his. Ron turned the boy's attention to his classmates. None of them were smiling. So Barney wasn't the only one unhappy. Ron suggested that all the Beebots should be made like him. Mark would help them in the scheme, but the boy decided to call the whole thing off because Ron would literally dissolve online. He can't just be copied, but Ron remembers that his goal is to make friends and he wants to help millions of other kids do it. Barney agrees and says goodbye to his friend. The code for the defective Beebot went viral. Andrew returned to the stage, but Mark sent him a video of Andrew admitting to spying on all users and hating kids. The manager immediately announced that the position of head of the company was going back to Mark. 3 months later, the robots are unrecognizable. One Beebot is crazier than the other and does what he wants, not his master. Savannah thanked Barney for changing the world and also for deleting the very video of her from the net. The boy became the king of all Beebots and also made old friends again.